Okay, so we're doing this now, I guess. Recording it too. Streaming it, recording it, the whole 9 fucking yards. Oh no, that's an idea. Okay, so, if anyone is watching this on YouTube, this is not a, premiere shitpost. This is not me making a stupid fucking video out of whatever the cowards formerly known as the Super Best Friends are doing for their LPs on the account that they kind of stopped making the cool animations, so I can't really do shitty parodies of them anymore. So no, this is going to be long, boring, and probably useless for most people, but it was an idea, so I guess I'm doing it. This is basically a dev diary. Hi, my name is, I guess, that's what we're going with now. I make DMC mods. I made a DMC5 mod, actually, a while back. And by a while back, I mean like a week ago. It's cool. It gave like Dante a bunch of cool stuff. You could use Summon Swords as a 5th style. I kind of gave him some weird mechanics. I gave the Rebellion drive back. I did some other shit. It's called StriVe. It's kind of in like a semi-public release, which is it's downloadable, but also it's not remotely ready. We're gonna try to fix that today. That seems like a concept. I'll just go and fucking modding and just kind of say, I don't know, this. Sure. Why the fuck not? Okay. This is primarily just an excuse to talk to myself out loud while I figure out what the fuck I'm doing. So if I just stop talking for like minutes to hours at a time, I'm sorry, I'll try to cut over that. And I guess I'll try to explain what I'm doing as best as I can while this is going on. This is probably going to require a degree of knowledge about Cheat Engine. So let's just clarify what the fuck we're doing first of all. So I made the mod, right? And it's a pretty good mod, but it's currently was programmed in a fugue state. I wasn't in like my rightest mind. I was just kind of desperately attempting to toss stuff together. And as of right now, I would like to take it apart and kind of get everything working in a way where you can turn things on and off independently and it's not all one clumped together nightmare. And so it's in a state that's actually usable by myself. So yeah, alright, let's see. What the fuck do we need to do today? We need to do a couple things. So this is some stuff I was working on for Vergil. I had some ideas, some stuff I did. Fucked around with where Judgment Cut was. Fucked around with Judgment Cut End, so you didn't accidentally activate it every 5 seconds when you were trying to Judgment Cut in midair. I put Taunt back on start, because that's where Taunt should be. But, the way I did this was through a similar process to the way I made the DMC5 mod. If I give a damn, I'll toss some footage up of what the fuck that thing can do. But the idea is that most of it revolves around three concepts. Or not 3 concepts, three areas of DMC5's code that basically handle three fucking things. They handle. It's all about input. Specifically, what the fuck you do with your the controller. I might do most of my stuff in the void. I usually, because of the way this modding process works, typically what I do is I pull out the DMC5 trainer and I go to floor 100 of Bloody Palace and I just do stuff there. The reason is because you can set Bloody Palace from the trainer and then hit continue on the main menu, and then you're immediately in Bloody Palace. Where as opposed to if you're doing stuff in the void, you have to go to main menu, then the void, then select a player character, then select your loadout, and then load into the void. And when your game's crashing every 5 minutes because you're trying to do some stupid shit, one of these is easier than the other. But I think for the sake of this, because what the fuck do you call it? Because the void has the display for the controller where you can see what buttons are being pushed. That might make some of the things I'm doing make a little more sense. So I think we'll be doing most of our stuff in there. We're going to, right now, we're going to play as Vergil. This thing I have here actually isn't the main StriVe script. It's some stuff I was fucking around with Vergil, like I said. But the idea is it uses the same parts of the code as StriVe, and this one's a little cleaner. I'm going to actually kind of just demonstrate how it works. We're going to go into main menu. I haven't actually done... How's this going? Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, this is going to be extraordinarily shit. I don't do this ever, so... I mean, I did it one time. There's like a Yakuza 0 LP lying on my, lying inside my computer somewhere. Should probably put that out at some point. This is the false choice. We have play as Vergil checked, so regardless of what we select here, if I select Dante and then go, assuming the game doesn't crash. You can see we got Nero, and we've got an infinite number of overtures. I did not make the Vergil mod. I don't know what the Vergil mod does or why it works the way it does. But apparently it uses Nero, and apparently the magazine is full of all overtures. Okay. Sure. I don't... so far out of my depth in regards to that. Most of what I do is cheat engine, which I'll explain the details of in a second. In comparison, most of what Dante and Razor, the people that make the co-op trainer mod, do is actual fucking witchcraft and black magic, and I have no clue how it works. Like, no clue whatsoever. Anyway, here's Vergil. Here he is. It's the boy.
Thank you for that. Now I shall give you death in return.
Yeah, I fucking wish you would. Alright, I'm gonna need to get a fuck ton more water, so I'm gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere. Or do. God knows you have better things to be doing with your time. Give me a second, I'm still not actually fucking back. Alright, I now have enough drinking water to make Flint jealous. Not that that's a particularly high bar, but, you know, it is something. Okay. Alright. So what the fuck are we doing? Right. How the fuck does Cheat Engine work? How the fuck does this any of this work? Okay, so the idea behind Cheat Engine, if you're not aware, is that you basically, it's a program that hooks into a program. Don't worry about specifically what that means, just like, think of it as like it inserts itself into a program, kind of like a virus. Ooh, ping. Ooh, ping. Ooh, ping from someone I give a shit about, or Dante's office. Who the fuck? Fuck off, Fane. Fucking Mr. Motivated over here. That do something for you? You one of those kinds of people? Whatever. Okay. Cheat Engine. What the fuck was I saying? Right, okay, so it's a program that hooks itself into a program, another program. Kind of like a virus. That's actually a pretty good way of putting it. So, once it's hooked in, which we will do by going open process, Devil May Cry 5, like so. Nothing has really changed other than the fact that we're going to go into full view mode. You've probably seen this if you've opened up Cyan's cheat engine table before, but we want to go into this, which is what cheat engine actually looks like. This is the part where we can do two things. We can track down addresses in the game, and that's a pretty simple thing. Like, we track down addresses in memory. So, like, say I track down health, and then I change the value of health. Vergil's health value would change. I'm not going to demonstrate that. There's a million fucking cheat engine tutorials. Likewise, I'll explain how the opcode stuff works briefly. The other thing you can do is you can intercept lines of actual code that make the program run, and you can change those lines of code. Now, through that, we can change how the game functions. That's kind of the more interesting thing, because it means you go from, like, cheats, which is just, I can change a value and make the game super easy, to I can implement a new gameplay mechanic that makes the game interesting, which is kind of what I'm trying to do here. So, how that works is all computer programs are written eventually become written in something called assembly. Well, they eventually become written in something called machine code, which is ones and zeros, and we're not going to talk about it. But basically, you write in a computer language, like C++, and then it gets translated to assembly. And then from assembly, it gets translated into fucking something else. Bytecode. You don't want to mess with that. It's not something you're interested in. Assembly, however, is something cheat engine can interpret by hooking into a program. And because of that, we can change and insert code we can change and insert assembly code into a program. So what that means is all of the stuff we're doing is going to be written in assembly. Now, if you don't know shit about assembly, let me explain. Everything's hard and everything's unfun. Most of the easy shortcuts and workarounds that modern programming languages have just do not exist. Now, cheat engine makes this easier with something called auto-assemble, which kind of like lets us define functions. And what the fuck? Yeah, I'm recording this I'm recording this and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel, I guess. Maybe. I don't fucking know, man. Oh, hey, Penguin. How's it going? So anyway, what we can do is we can do things like define... I guess you call it a function. Really, we define, like, an area of... I'll explain how this works in a second. But you can basically, like, kind of define your own shitty functions, and you can define your own shitty variables. And doing that makes life a little fucking easier. So, okay. Basically, let's explain how, let's go through Cyan's thing, because it's actually kind of easier to explain than mine. So how this process works, get ready, there's going to be a bunch of numbers and letters and shit, is that if we go to an area of the program in memory, how this works is the Devil May Cry 5.exe is the address of the program in memory, in the computer's memory, and then this number is the offset from the application's base address. Okay. So what that amounts to is that first the program jumps to where the beginning of Devil May Cry 5 is in memory, and then it jumps to an offset. All memory addresses are in hexadecimal. Very quickly, if you don't know how hexadecimal works, it's like decimal, except there's 6 extra? Yeah, there's 6 extra numbers. So normally you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In hexadecimal, we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. So that's why we got numbers and letters here, as opposed to just numbers. So this is the address of a line of code in the game's memory. D1, F6, DF3, which is somewhere. And this is relevant because this particular code, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually going to be entirely useless to us. This is a terrible example. Why did I pick it? Oh, whatever. Let's pretend I was playing as Dante, because this code is only relevant when you're using Dante. What this code would do is, in R15, it would load the ID, the internal number assigned to one of Dante's weapon, and write it to a location. Now, we care about this because it tells us what Dante's currently equipped weapon is. So what Cyan does is he writes a script and then injects it into the program, which we're going to do by clicking Activate Table. And then out, and then in. I want you to look in the right side of the screen. You can see it changes from Move, RDI, all that shit, to Jump 13 FFF 1000. So what this does... Why do I keep getting Oh, it's this fucking bullshit. You know, okay. Whatever. I'll edit this out in post or something. There we go. Keep that clean. Is there no way for it to... Yeah, pings are just not going to work. Well, I'll just have to check back here every few minutes. That's fine. This can't get any shittier. Anyway. So, you can see how the thing has changed to JMP 13FFF 1000. So JMP is a command in assembly. It basically means that the program, when it reaches this line of code, should jump to a different line of code. It should jump to a line of code 13FFF 1000. If we follow this, and we go to that address, you can see that we are moving, and we aren't just moving the weapon ID into wherever the fuck the program normally does it. We're also moving it into something called weapon ID, which is what, bear with me here, this line of code does. You can actually see. So if you can see right here, RDI 15, move weapon ID 15, jump return 1. And you can actually see the exact same thing here. So what we've done, and the principle of how all this bullshit works, is you go to a line of the code and you tell it, jump to an area of memory that only we are using. Which is why there's like, you can see all the addresses and values here are 0 except for this. So this is an area of memory that's not being used right now. So what that means is that we can put our code there and then tell the program to jump from where it normally is to here and then jump back. So to clarify how it works, programs go and do, and where it would normally do its code, it instead jumps. We go to here, it does our code, and it jumps back. Good? Good. Okay, that's how this works. That's how all of this works. We are basically intercepting a particular line of code, and then we are doing our own code there, and then going back into the main program. Basically, if you've seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Stardust Crusaders, you know that one fucking scene where Dio stops time when Polnareff's going up the stairs, and then he picks up Polnareff, and then he takes him back down the stairs, and then time resumes? That's basically how this works. We're acting in the stop time, or the fucking intercepted time. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyway, so Cyan does this to keep track of like a couple of things. Where the Devil Breakers are, what the last input pressed was, some information about guns, move ID. This is actually really useful. He figured out a way to come up with a unique move ID for each animation in the game, which is super useful, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we're gonna just we're gonna leave that on because we need it for stuff. DMC StriVe does a little bit more. Basically, I'm trying to keep track of a whole bunch of bullshit. Most of it is Dante focused. Some of it is not. And that's one of the things we need to do today. We need to figure out what stuff is Dante focused, what stuff is general, that applies to all the characters, and we need to move stuff around appropriately. For the sake of my own sanity, basically. Attempting to debug a script that has like multiple interception points like this is a fucking nightmare, because any one of these, the Alec, this thing, represents a different like intercept in memory. So if any one of these is wrong, the entire program will crash, and then I would just note there's something wrong with the script, but it could be any of these. That's bad coding. We don't like that. We need to fix that, and we need to like, at least for the purposes of debugging, we want that all kind of separated out a bit so it's easier to understand. That's kind of what I was doing, was it fucking last night? Oh, who cares? So I used to have a big single script for StriVe, and now we've broken it down into 4 smaller scripts. This is just... So what this is it's just a little script that allocates a bunch of memory to variables, so we can use variables. Hang on, 1 second. No, I'm just losing my mind. It's all good. Alright. So we can use these variables to keep track of... You can see it says internal variables. Basically that means I'm not keeping track of stuff in the game. I'm keeping track of stuff I need to keep track of for my program. So you can see that there's values that are related to the stuff I do. DarkSlayer style, we've got backing up the Balrog stance for some shit. ID replacement, sword slot replacement. Whether Cavalier X is visible, whether or not we need to catch the Faust hat, whether or not we're doing a Roman cancel. That kind of shit. So that's internal values, and it's all in this script. I should explain something. It's important. Register symbol is very special. When you register symbol in Cheat Engine, that means any script in Cheat Engine can use the name. So I'm registering a symbol is DarkSlayer, which means is DarkSlayer can be used to correspond to this value in memory in any script in the program. If you've done programming before, basically think of it as a global variable. It's very important because all of these rely on variables we've defined in here. And in fact, I think every variable in the... Most variables, I think, in the script I moved into here. So they're all in one place. And they're easy to add or access, and you don't have them split up over all the individual scripts. Okay. So that's how fucking... I don't know what you call them. Symbols? I guess we call them symbols. They're basically variables. So, here's how StriVe actually fucking works. And what I spent most of December tracking down. So, there are 3 parts to attacks, actions. There are 3... Wow, I need to get a better Xbox controller. Holy shit. Don't do that. Wow, that's real garbage. That's super bad. Okay, actually, 1 second. Can I fucking just really quickly... Hang on. Controller config. Don't crash. Bear with me here. Additional settings. Yeah, can we bump up that, circle? Yeah, can we bump that fucking... There we go. Okay. There we go. That should fix some problems, I want to say. Cool. Okay, Vergil's not spazzing around like an idiot spazzing around like less of an idiot. What fucking ever. Actions in the game. So... I actually don't know if I can show this. Let me go to options, and we're gonna see. Hopefully. Woo! Yeah, okay. Vergil's a little funky, so we can't show it here. But if you've played Devil May Cry 5, you've probably... You know, if you've played Devil May Cry 5, you've noticed that Nero's gun binding sucks, and you've gone to rebind it in the controls. If you go there, you'll note 2 fucking things. Can I actually just quit out right now? I don't have anything that would crash the game on, do I? I don't. Okay, cool. 1 second, we're gonna go back to player select. We're gonna grab, I don't fucking know. Who's a good example? I guess Dante. We'll grab Dante briefly, so I can explain what the fuck I'm talking about, and then go back to Vergil. I forgot to... Nope. Still Nero. Gotta turn this checkmark off. So 90% of the time, I would, like, if it's like, oh, I need to change characters, I just flat out fucking close the program, close the entire game, and then just start it back up again. Because most of the time it's quicker. For the purposes of this, because we want to be in the void where you can see what the fuck I'm doing. We will not. Okay, so real fucking quickly, let's explain how actions in Devil May Cry 5 work. Why are you... Alright, ring. Hello? Oh, something's not right. Something's very not right. Why the fuck do I have no... What, I tab out for 1 second and I brick my fucking controller? Is that what's going on here? Why do I have no fucking controls? Why do I have no controls? Okay. Well, that's fun. Whatever. I actually only needed to come in here to... Ah! So this. Okay. So, Dante warned me that, trying to mess around with the Vergil's controls is a bad idea. I now understand why. Let's not do that again. There we go.
Great disappointment!
Oh yeah, I have Wooly's, style announcer mod installed because it's sick. Alright. Alright. So, Cerberus is actually a good demonstration for this. Alright. So, options, controls. You've probably been here at some point to rebind something. I want to point something out. What you can see on the right side are the actual buttons on your Xbox controller or PS4 controller, or whatever the fuck you're using. And on the left, we have some phrases. Melee attack, gun attack, jump, style action, double trigger, change target, lock on, change sword, change gun, change style, ... Now, I think this is correct. I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I'm wrong, then, I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out later. No, I'm not wrong. I've tested enough times to confirm that I'm not fucking wrong. I know what I'm talking about. It's fine. So, these are basically actions. Right here, on the left-hand side of the screen. I've been calling them logical actions, whatever the fuck you want to say. So what this means is, when you press a button playing the game, right? We're gonna go with Rebellion. There are 3 things going on. 1, I press the Y button. 2, Dante attacks with a melee weapon. 3, Dante swings Rebellion. So there is a distinction there, and I need to clarify why there are 3 stages and why that's important. I'm now going to do the exact same thing. I attack with Y. Dante does a melee attack. Dante does a light blow. Hopefully you get the distinction I'm trying to make here, which is basically, in between you pushing the button, and in between Dante doing a move, there is something else going on, which is where the game translates the button into, like, a kind of generic Fuck, my controller is busted. Alright. In between the buttons, and in between Dante doing his moves, there's, like, a virtual generic action that your button is being translated to. This is important, because this is how the fucking... why this is all going to work as well as it does. Basically, how the game handles different controllers and keyboard and all of that shit is it translates the buttons you press into these virtual actions. And these virtual actions are then bound to moves. Let me give a demonstration here of why that's an important detail. So I'm pressing left trigger right now. Left trigger. I'm pressing right trigger right now, and that's changing the weapon. Alright? I'm gonna go into Sin double trigger real quick. If I hold right trigger, I do a move called the loose. Out of SDT. Okay. Options. Controls. We are going to swap LT with, oh, fucking no. Let's say X. I'm gonna bind X to RT. My apologies. Oh, whoops. There we go. Okay. Gun attack is now right trigger. Change sword is now X. If you can see, X is now indeed changing my swords. If I go into STT, right trigger does gun, and X does the loose. Now this is important, because what that means, if you go into options, is that change sword in Sin Devil Trigger will perform the loose. It's not a separate binding for Sin Devil Trigger. It is a virtual action, and change sword in Sin Devil Trigger will perform the loose, and when you're out, it will change your sword. So what this means is these are basically like kind of an intermediary between the game, between your inputs and the Dante actually doing his moves. And by changing these, apologies this is taking so fucking long, but I really do need to emphasize how important this fucking is. By changing and fucking with his virtual actions, we can make Dante do completely different things. Alright? That's moves. There's one other brief further clarification here. Actually, you know what? No. Okay. So I'm gonna fucking explain how we use that to our advantage now. I'm gonna exit the fuck out of the void. Everyone still with me? Mute gang? Mute gang? Okay, cool. One button Dante playthrough when? Yeah. Sure. What the fuck would you bind? If you had to bind and beat Devil May Cry with a single fucking button, what would it be? I want to say style, and then you and then as long as you start in Gunslinger, use Red Hot Night to just beat the entire game. I feel like that's probably the easiest way of doing it. Okay. We're gonna play as Vergil now, because Vergil. Void. I accidentally set Bloody Palace, that's fine. Okay. Everybody pay attention now, this is where the magic happens. Start. Okay. So I'm gonna do the baller move of actually turning my mod the fuck on. So we're going to go StriVe. This is the thing that collects the information. It's similar to activate table in the CE. This is the internal variables being turned on. I'm going to pause the game for this because I don't want to accidentally crash it. Now we're going to turn these scripts on. You can see they're called hold, press, release. There's a reason for that. We'll get into it, but not right now. Okay, so let's go to press real fucking quick. So, to explain the basic principle of how this works, here's a pretty good way of explaining that. I'm actually going to turn my shit right the fuck back off for half a minute. Okay, so if you've fucked with playable Vergil before, you know that right trigger on the ground... Right trigger? Left trigger. Oh god. Do I not know left from right? That's worrying. Okay, left trigger performs this. Which is a busted as fuck version of Judgment Cut End. Now, this is kind of an awkward position, because this also does this. And that's kind of useful. And you can run into a problem when you're doing this, where if you're doing it and then you hit the ground, you do this move. We don't want that. So what we are going to do is what I call action interception. Alright? So if we go to press, you can see a couple things. What are we doing? Yeah. So you're gonna have to just take my... I'm actually gonna bring it up real quickly because I have them all written down here. What the fuck? Oh, right. I moved all my fucking shit around. 1 second. I need to grab something from my documentation, which is values.txt. Okay. So here, right here, is the logical actions for I have them for Dante. These do actually exist for every character. You can bind things to individual things on the D-pad. You can bind them to anything on the D-pad. It's kind of weird. Like, it kind of looks like they're just part of the controller, but they're not. Trust me, they're like virtualized actions in the game. Don't worry about that. Sorry, my anxiety is kicking in, because if that isn't the case, then I have to fix a bunch of bullshit. I'm actually gonna show you how I fixed the air judgment cut shit, or at least I fixed some of it, which is what I'm gonna do right now. So what we're going to do is, if you see, come on, get it together. Okay, right here, you can see that 4,000 is the action. We're gonna call it the action value. Basically, when we go and intercept a line of code, which we are going to do in the game in just a second, if we see this value 4,000, that means we're trying to do a change gun action. And as of right now, in the game, change gun does this in midair and this on the ground. We want to change that. So what we are going to do is we are going to go into this, the press intercept script. Briefly, we're going to go into it in more detail. There's 3 parts to every action, or there's 3 things you can do with every action. You can press it, you can hold it, and then you can release it. And they can all do different things. This is going to be important in a second. But as of right now, we're just going to mess with pressings. So, when I press change gun, this code will be triggered. And, well, when I press anything, this code will be triggered. So what we are doing here is we are comparing the action value until we find the one we want, which is, change gun? I fucking forget. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, hang on. Headspace. Change gun. What side is change gun on? Change gun is currently jumping to original code. Right, I'm doing something stupid there. What I should be doing there is... Am I being sneaky? Yeah, I'm being sneaky. So I'm going to make this a little clearer. What we want to do is when we see that the value of 4,000 or change gun has been pressed, we want to tell it no. We want to tell the game that actually, in fact, we have not pressed that. Which you will see right here. I'm going to hit OK. Pause. Thank you. Turn this on. I don't think turning this on by itself will break the entire game, but I could be wrong. Okay, so now... Fuck. Alright. What did I do wrong? It's something. What the fuck do we do? Judgment cut gun, JCE D-pad. Oh, right, I'm an idiot. Sorry. As of right now, there is a value in StriVe's main script called in gameplay. It's designed to detect when you actually are in gameplay in the game, as opposed to when you're in a menu or something, so you don't accidentally crash the game doing something you shouldn't. Problem is, it relies on a bunch of Dante-specific stuff to tell the game that we're in gameplay. So as of right now, it just says no, because it's looking for stuff like Dante's guns, Dante's gun models, and it's not seeing them, so it assumes we're not in game, but we are as Vergil. So I've set in gameplay to 1 now, and now the mod will actually start fucking working. So now, you can see, surprise, surprise, nothing is coming out when I hit left trigger, or change gun. So, this is no longer usable. So, that by itself is not great, because a button that just does judgment cuts is useful, and we also want to do judgment cut ends sometimes. Especially with Dr. Penguin's mod that adds the Quicksilver thing. So the other thing I've done is, you can see right here, this is triggered whenever you do any action on the D-pad. Again, I promise these are virtual actions. Don't ask me why the game was designed like this, but it is. So, when we do an action on the D-pad, what we are going to do is we are going to instead check and see if we are on the ground. If we are on the ground, then we are going to change the action we're doing from a D-pad thing to change gun. And what that amounts to is when I tap on the D-pad,
Slay all.
we get Judgment Cut End. On the ground. In the air, nothing. Ground,
Eliminate all.
Judgment Cut All. Judgment Cut End, whatever. That's how it works. And that's basically how everything in StriVe fucking works, for the most part. There's other stuff with model swapping and weird messing around with properties, but the actual gameplay stuff, keeping everything tight and responsive, that's how we do it. How most of the stuff in Sion's cheat engine thing is done is he has a value that he uses to check to see if buttons are pressed physically, and then he tells code to do stuff based off that. I ain't about that shit. I want to just go to where the action is happening and change it. So that solves a problem, but we need to solve some other problems too. Namely, we need a way to fucking do judgment cuts normally. So here's the solution I came up with, and this is where the 3 individual states become important. We're gonna... let's try something and see if the game crashes. It shouldn't. Nice. Okay, this should make everything back to normal. Yep, cool.
Slay all.
So, normally, when you're playing as Vergil, there's a couple ways to do shit. You can,
Eliminate all.
Right, yeah, I forgot. Vergil's jump's also buggy as fuck. I fixed it, but I don't have that on right now. Bear with me here. So, in the air, you can do a judgment cut by doing that. But you can also do it another way.
Cut you down.
Which is basically, you attack, and then you hold Y, and then when you let go, a judgment cut comes out.
Cut you down.
This is very important to how we're going to do shit. So basically, what we want to do is we want to make it so that when I press X, it views pressing X as releasing Y when it's been held. And so to do that, we need to go to the other 2 parts where action happens, which is where this thing is the code that handles when an action is held. This is the code that handles when an action is released. So, in here, what we're going to do is, there's a bunch of like individual scenarios and cases set up, but primarily what we want to do with hold, let me just make sure, activate tables on. Cool. So this shouldn't crash the game. And this also shouldn't crash the game. Okay, cool. So you can't see it right now, because there's no obvious indication. But basically, as of right now, Y is being held down at all times. And this will become very apparent when I do this. Hang on. Whoop. Sorry, let me just... Whoop. No? Oh, right. I forgot. I'm an idiot. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Basically, I have something in press intercept script right now that says... not in press intercept script. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, right. It's the release thing. So, because we're actually holding a button right now, when we go to release the button, the game doesn't actually view it as a release, because it sees the action is still being held, and it goes, no, that doesn't make any sense. The reason it's like this, I think, is because if it wasn't the case, which will actually become kind of obvious, I can still attack right now. The reason is I'm going to something all the way down here. It is basically just a code that checks to see if the action is held. And if the action's already held, it says you can't be doing a press. we overwrite that. And that amounts to two interesting things. I'm going to turn hold Intercept script off for a second. So we're no longer holding the thing, and if we do a judgment cut, it comes out. I'm going to demonstrate something interesting here. It might be a little hard to see. But I'm going to hold Y, like so. And you can see that despite the fact I'm holding Y, you can't see it on the UI, obviously, but I am actually pressing left mouse with my keyboard. And I can still do attacks. Now, I think that's basically why that opcode must exist, because otherwise you could do shit like hold a button on the controller and then still do attacks with the mouse, which would amount to some weird shit. And that's some weird shit we take advantage of. And now I need to go get more water.
Cut you down.
Explaining why this is all relevant, I promise. The fact that there are still 4 people in this fucking Discord stream is a miracle. I don't know how the fuck this is entertaining or engaging. But I guess it must be. Okay, so yeah, hold button, or here, hold button, do attack. That's actually a better way of showing it. So you can see I'm holding the left mouse button. Right? But then... Ta-da! Can't do shit. I also notice when I release, judgment cuts don't come out. But when I let go of the mouse...
You're finished.
So... what this amounts to, and why this is all important, is we're now going to do a couple things. I'm going to turn everything on now. Holy shit. Why the fuck are people here? So I'm going to turn on hold, press, and release now. And this is important. Hold and release basically have... I'm actually going to turn off hold, because that's going to make problems. What this amounts to... I actually can't demonstrate it because of scripts I've already written. But now, if I was holding a thing and then I let go of the button on the other controller, I would be able to release Judgment Cut. I can't, because I've already written a bunch of scripts that handle that. But if I hadn't, I could. And the reason this is important is because we use this to cheat the game. So here is everything together. Here is hold, press, and release all working together to create an action that normally isn't possible. So what we do is the following. Step 1, we hold the attack button at all times. It's being held at all times for all reasons. Alright? Step 2, we prevent, and release Intercept script, we prevent the attack action from being released. So in other words, when we release left mouse or when we release Y, it doesn't view it as an actual release. So this prevents us accidentally judgment cutting. Finally, here's the clever bit. All right. When we detect a press of gun, all right, we are going to set an internal variable that StriVe uses called force release to 1. Now keep in mind, 1 is the value of the melee attack action, right? See it right here? 2 is gun, 1 is melee. So then when we see 2, we move 1 into force release. And then we're basically like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. There's some bullshit going down there because I was trying to fix some shit. Whatever. Who cares? Important thing. We move 1 into force release. Alright. So we're moving melee into force release. I think you can guess where this is going. In release, we have a special thing. Sorry, I should explain what this code right here is real quick. This is the code the game uses to check whether or not... that normally checks whether or not the game is pressing... whether or not you're doing an action. This is jump if not above. I don't get exactly how it works. But But what it boils down to is if you aren't doing something, it's going to jump to this. Otherwise, it's going to continue. So, we have here, when it sees that RSI is being released, when it sees that melee attack is being released, it just, it says, we're doing a clever comparison here that changes the value, don't worry about it. Basically what this script does is it prevents the melee attack from being released. And then that's the end of it. But this is release override. And it is used... okay, sorry, briefly. The game uses an internal clock that checks every action, every possible action that you can do once, and then it moves to the next frame, the next input frame, and then it checks them all again. And normally what it does is it doesn't do anything if an action is not being done. So it checks if an action is being done. If it's not being done, normally it just jumps. But what we do here is if the action is being skipped over, we're going to check. And we are going to check force release. So what we are doing is it goes, okay, we haven't released melee this input cycle, so just skip it. But I go, no, wait a second. Check force release. And if force release is equal to the action that would be skipped over. So in other words, it checks to see if I've released the sword button, and it goes, nah, it hasn't, so just go to and I go, wait, but have I told you to release the sword button anyway? And if I have, then I say, okay, make it so that the sword button is released. So, what this amounts to, whenever I press gun, sword will be released immediately. Which means,
Cut you down.
because sword is also always being held,
You're finished.
pressing X will immediately perform a judgment cut on the ground with no latency. Or it should, anyway. Sometimes Vergil can get stuck on animations, but I don't think it's an actual issue with my code.
Cut you down.
It's just because it's Vergil, and he's broken.
Cut you down.
So just like that, we can perform judgment cuts on the ground at any time without any lead up. And we can still do normal attacks. So look. Obviously, there's latency by the virtue of Vergil's attacks just being fucking uncancelable 90% of the time. But it's actually pretty responsive. Oh, and we fix the stuff in the air simply by going, okay, if we're in the air, then then the gun action turns into the change gun action. Like so. Oop, hang on. Remember, his jump's broken right now. Ta-da! And on the ground. And Judgment Cut End does not come out. Or it shouldn't. There's some weird exceptions that I'm trying to tweak right now. But it shouldn't for the most part. And of course, we can press D-pad. And that gets us Judgment Cut End. And finally, the one other thing we're doing with Vergil right now is we're checking to see if right trigger is pressed, don't do anything. If taunt is pressed, do right trigger.
Fine. I suppose this is how you wish to die.
And there you go. Judgment Cut End is separated on the D-pad. Gun is now a safe
You're finished.
Judgment Cut button that can be used without accidentally doing Judgment Cut End. Sword attacks still work normally. Taunt on the start
You
button.
mock me.
So that's actually a pretty good overview of like how StriVe works. That's kind of like the most complicated things ever get. Is where, okay, I have to hold an action all the time, and then I have to change the press to not be a press, and then I need to make sure that a release happens even when you can't. Okay. What does push address do? Can you be more... Oh, can I fix the jump after this? Abso-fucking-lutely, my dude. I can fix it right now. Here. Sorry, when I say I haven't fixed it yet, what I mean is I don't have this script that fixes it on right now. So this is basically just some move ID stuff. I need to get more water. Holy shit. Please hold. I have more water. Alright. Oh, something else. I should probably mention. When the game freezes up like this, it's not like actually freezing because of errors or anything. I have a hotkey that pauses the actual program. Suspends the program. Whatever. That's how that works. Okay, so this is, most of the fixing Vergil is actually just applications of the work Sion's already done, just in a more clever way. So there's a thing called Skip Animations 2 inside the cheat engine, inside Sion's cheat table. And basically what it does is you can do a comparison for a move ID. Remember, move ID is a unique value. You can see it. I've highlighted it right here. And that value is unique for every animation. Alright, so this is what Vergil looks like when he's running. This is what Vergil looks like when he's walking. I think that's just standing still or something. Whatever. That's a string of attacks. 1, 2, 3. And you can see that if we do the different combo, it's not the same. So it's unique for every animation. And what that boils down to is that Vergil has 2 jumps, alright? Please note the difference between the jumps. I wanted you to go away, actually. Okay, so he's got neutral jump. Looks like this. Kind of does a weird poop. And he's got this, which is like a kind of like Superman style thing, where it's like one arm goes back and the other one goes forward. And he's got a backwards jump, but we don't care about the backwards jump because it works. Like, look. It's all good. Never have an issue with the backwards jump. You can cancel out of it into anything you'd like. And basically, that's what we do to fix Vergil. Or fix this part of Vergil. There's a lot of Vergil that needs to be fixed, in case you don't know. So what we do is we go into skip animations, and we basically say, okay, if he's doing his neutral jump, or if he's doing his forward jump, you can do whatever the fuck you like out of it. There's no restrictions on the next move you can do. And what this means is when we turn this on, please no breaky. Aerial attack more responsive, and oh yeah, I also have cancel skip animation for the end of the judgment cut on and in the air, which I think combined with Dr. Penguin's mod causes some stupid shit to happen. So you want to see Vergil fly? Off you go. Yeah, it's actually not it's not perfect right now because of like, thankfully this is not a feature I'm actually worried about adding into the thing, but he drops out because of some bullshit and yada yada yada, whatever, who gives a fuck. Still pretty fucking funny. There we go. So that's some absurd bullshit. So yeah, basically all jump animations cancel normally. You can do it forward as well. This is also useful when you're trying to like actually do aerial shit, because I'm gonna just show you how bad it is without. All right. So here's normal. Here's a normal judgment cut. Ready? It just didn't come out. I got lucky and it came out that time. Once you're in the air, there's less of a problem. But you can see, just nothing. And now, skip animations. Still takes a little long. Still takes a little bit, but like, no, that shit works now. Same thing with the aerial stuff. You can immediately start doing aerial stuff, which is very nice, because normally that jump is not functioning at all. Oh, and I have a bunch of other shit too, in Skip Animations 1 and Selective Cancels, that does a couple of other stuff. It would skip the sheath it would let you, like, dodge out of the sheath animations, but most of them, I think Dr. Penguin's mod skips. Like you can see right there, that normally he does a sheath animation there, and if my script was on then I would be able to cancel out that. Likewise with the stinger. Let me back up a sec. Come on. Normally he's got like a spin around and then a slow sheath animation, but it's not there right now because of Penguin's mod. But I made it so you can stinger out of you can cancel out of that too. And the other thing I did, which is very nice.
Fine. I suppose this is how you wish to die. Thank you for that.
Surprise! You can actually cancel fucking taunts, which is, you know, kind of fucking helpful if you're trying to do style shit. Is it called Stinger for Vergil? Dude, who fucking cares? Not like Capcom actually bothered to give them real names. Or, I guess it's got ID. I guess Penguin would know. He's looking at the internal move names. And it's called fucking Rapid Slash or whatever. But yeah, anyway, that's a mostly fixed Vergil. He's still boring mechanically. But he's like, you know. He works. He's functional, at least. I do have ideas for giving him actual mechanical depth that I think I might be able to do. That is not what the purpose of this shit show of a stream is. Purpose is getting StriVe tidied up and just kind of in a better state. So the important thing about the way that I've set up Vergil stuff in comparison to how I had StriVe done, StriVe is a complete fucking mess. But here we have an actual system. Right? I'm going to walk through how it works. So everything from here to like here. This is basically a counter, a record tracker that keeps track of everything being held. This is what we use for data collection on what actions are being held and what actions are not. Right here, we have what is basically a version of the normal code. We basically have two locations to go from here. We have a script for if a action is held, and we have a script for if an action is not held. Now, the thing I want to check today is the following. And I hope to God that this works, because if it does, it makes my life so much easier. Okay, so memory view. We're going to create a new script real quick. We're going to call it cheat table framework code. Now, this is going to be weird, because we're not doing code injection. I don't know if this is going to work. I hope it does. So, how the fuck do I normally... Yeah, okay. So we're going to go like the following. We're going to go allocate, and we're going to call it Vergil hold script. And we're going to allocate, I guess 500 bytes to it. And we're going to create, do we need anything else? I think we just need that. And then we're going to, obviously, dealloc Vergil hold script at the bottom. So you don't know how cheat table codes work. Basically, it edits the memory twice. Once when you enable it, once when you disable it. It's very important that when you disable a script, the memory values go back to exactly what they were before. Otherwise, your game is probably gonna fucking crash. Or at the very least, it's gonna start behaving super fucking weird. So what we're going to do here, I hope, is I want to try using an assembly instruction called call. Alright, so let me go to my my hold intercept script. Alright, and we're gonna grab what are we grabbing specifically? Huh. I don't actually do anything with hold intercept script right now. I guess Vergil not hold script. You know what? We'll call it hold override script, because why the fuck not? Vergil hold override script. Alright. I'm going to copy. Okay, how the fuck do I do this correctly? The answer is I need to go to the fucking bathroom. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Alright. Hello? Alright. Are you fucking serious? 7 goddamn people? Why? Christ's sake, it's fucking...
Hey, you started the stream. Don't ask unnecessary questions.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, Flair.
Sup?
Alright. All sorts of bullshit. Not Vergil, unfortunately, despite him being on the screen. This is more just general prototype. Anyway, yeah, class in session. At the end, hopefully you'll know how to make a cool mod like me. Yup. Okay. Okay. So here's what the fuck we need to do, right? So this is all... Yeah. Right? So what this is compare RSI 1, jump to original code. Compare RSI 0, jump to exit 24. So how the fuck do I do this? So here's the idea, right? You can see right here there is a opcode known as call, right? So what this means is that when you call something, it's a little different than a jump, all right? When you call something, it goes to a different location in code, does a bunch of bullshit, yada yada yada. But then you have return at the end, as opposed to another jump. So normally, if you're there for the beginning of this, how this works is... Sorry. Losing track of where the fuck I am in memory. And normally how this works is you get when we intercept, we do a jump, we do our code, and then we jump back. Like so. So jump in, jump out. Call is different. Because a jump is predefined. You always jump to the address listed. You can have a conditional jump, which is depending on a certain condition, you'll jump or you will not jump. But you're always jumping to the same address. Return is different, I think. The idea behind return is that when you call something, your current address is loaded into the current instruction you were at is loaded into memory somewhere, and it's stored in memory. And when you get to return, it uses that stored thing to jump back. This is important for the following reason. Okay, hang on. I just need to make sure it's actually important for the reason I'm fucking thinking of. Fuck me. Yeah? So, it'd be jump, jump, jump. Do I actually need a call? I'm trying to think. I think I do, but I could be wrong. So the idea we fucking want here is we made it so there's two very generic things going on. There's the script that you run if there is an action being held, and there's the script that you run if there isn't an action being held. And what I would like to do is theoretically, once we get into that generic held versus not held, I would then like to jump to character-specific scripts. I'd like to do a comparison to the character, and if it's Vergil, I want to jump to my Vergil stuff. And if it's Dante, I want to jump to my Dante stuff. And I want to be very, very careful that, that the code is properly separated clearly so that it doesn't go to the Vergil stuff when it should be going to the Dante stuff and vice versa. And I think call is a good way of doing that, but I'm not sure actually now that I say it out loud. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Alright. So what does call do? Call, it gives you the value that loads it into memory, and then you can pop back immediately afterwards. Now, is that better than... Maybe there's another way of doing this. Auto-assemble lets you define shit, doesn't it? Hang on. Sion, what do you do? Welcome, by the way, this is basically my life. Whenever I'm sitting down and I have like a tough problem or cheat engine dilemma, I just sit for a minute and I think, what would Sion do? And then I open up the Sion script table and I just copy whatever the fuck he did. And that's how I've gotten as far as I have. Case in point. Yes. Okay, see, this is the problem. So, Sion has a way of defining things so you can jump back to a specific point Thoughts work, please? Okay. Basically, there's a thing in auto-assemble, which is the cheat engine assist to assembly you can do, called define. And what we do is we take a specific address, and we give it a definition. Which means that cheat engine, when it sees this word, will know that it means this address. Now, this could, in theory, be used to jump to a specific location in memory, which is useful in some circumstances. Like if I wanted to jump to a specific opcode in memory and I wanted to give it an easy name, like he's done here. So DMC5EXE plus all that bullshit is equal to current style alloc. Then when you see current style alloc, you know to jump to that address. That works if the address is always going to be in the same place. The problem with code injection is that it's not always clear where there's unused code in memory. So the location of my script is going to be in a different place. So I can't use a define to jump back to my code outside of like the current script. But if I use call and then I call a different script, then in theory I should jump back to the same position in my script that I was at before. That's why call is useful. Yeah, okay. So the idea being that we call a character-specific function, and then once we've called that character-specific function, we then return back to a generic point in this script. So the idea being, there's a button being held. Go to whole intercept script. What character are we at? Are we Vergil? Great. Jump to the Vergil script. Do everything in the Vergil script, and then jump back. And then that's the idea. Problem with that is that I need to figure out a way to specify what we should do afterwards. Because most of the stuff that we do here, is actually unrelated to, is either changing the action we're doing or changing some stuff in the game elsewhere. Has very little to do with the code running there. With an exception. And holy fuck, I need even more water. Okay. So the issue is with the following. Namely, I also need a way of telling the normal code whether or not it should consider it as an action being pressed or not. Now, within a script, that's pretty easy. I think it might still be pretty easy. I just need to think about it differently. So the idea being that there's a comparison that is done here that is used to determine whether or not the action's being held or not. If we cheat that comparison, then we can make it, then we can tell it whatever we want it to tell it. Holy shit. I think I'm gonna ruin my voice. So, we need... The problem is that we also use comparison... That we also use those kinds of comparisons to determine where to jump to in our own script, for the most part. And we need to figure out a way to ensure that we end with the correct comparison. Otherwise, problems will happen. But I think that's not that bad a deal. I just need to think about it differently. Okay. So this right here is the original code being used in the game. That's normally what's at that line of code that we're intercepting. So we need to do the following. When we're in hold register, we should jump to there. Otherwise, we jump to hold override. Otherwise, we jump to the hold intercept script, and then we jump to original code. Okay. So, right. Okay, so this is how this should work. Yes. Okay, this works. This actually works. Great. Or it should, in theory. So what we're going to do is we're going to go copy, paste. We need to go like this, because that means that's actually a function or section of memory that's defined as a set of instructions that we can use. So, do we always want to jump to original code? No. Sometimes we want to jump to original code. Sometimes we want to jump to x24. Basically, if we are jumping... If we do this jump right here, we're trying to tell it that, that there's a button being held. If we do a normal jump, then we're telling it that we don't want the button to be held. So, we need to... What do we need to do here? This is important. Yes. Okay. Yeah? Sorry, I'm brain hurt. Okay. No, okay, I got it. It's good. Yeah, so we want to skip exit. We want to skip the original code when we're in hold override, regardless of what the fuck we're doing. And we want to do, inside here, we want a comparison. Okay. So, if it's this, then we want to no press exit. Then we don't want to hold. If it's this, we don't want to hold. If it's this, hell, we still don't want to hold. Here, if it's still at this point, now we want to hold. So, we're going to define some internal labels, some subscripts, if you will. And we're going to call it hold true exit. And then hold false exit. Alright. And here's how these are going to work. So, the particular way this comparison works, where it determines if you're being held or not. Alright. The way it's determined is if you compare RSI to itself. Alright. So if I do comparison RSI, then it will never view it as a held press. If, on the other hand, we do RSI 0, it will always view it as a held press. So, here is the big damn idea. So if it's here, we want to jump to hold true. We want to jump to hold false exit. Hold false exit. Hold false exit. And hang on, Jenny, let me just make sure. Jump, if not equal to original code. Okay, no. So if it's not equal to the original code, then we still want hold false exit. Yes, every because we're gonna override. So if we go back to the normal code, it's going to just say that no, you're not holding that button, which is what we want to do anyway. But we want to make it clearer. Here, this comparison is actually me doing this thing down here. So what we want is just jump to hold true exit. Okay. So that in theory should work. Cool. I didn't get an error when I set up this auto assemble script. We're gonna call this Vergil hold override script 9 offset too big. What does that mean? What does offset too big mean? Does it need more memory? You can give it more memory. Alloc Vergil hold override script 1000. Disable the alloc Vergil hold override script. What does this mean? What does this mean? In comparison to here, what the fuck do we normally do? Alloc new mem 1000. That bit is optional, right? When we allocate memory, yes, it's clearly optional. Okay. And then we go here, and then we do the thing, and then we define that and that, and that should be good. I can't think of anything else. Why does this not work? Why can we not turn this on? We should be able to turn it on. 9. Offset too big at line number 9. Comparison move ID. What does that mean? What the fuck does offset too big mean? Does anybody in chat know?
Look at it again.
Look at it again. Why is it line 9? Wait, is it line... Fuck. I fucking edited the thing. Hang on. 8 offset too big. Okay, so it's at line 8 now. So yeah, it's the move ID. What is going on with the move ID? Why is move ID being a problem? I have move ID on, right? Activation?
Offset 8 or 9?
It's line 8 or 9.
Oh boy.
I mean, unless... fuck. I think. Hang on. Where's changelog? Changelog. Okay, move ID. What the fuck is going on? This is on right now, right?
You're finished.
Why did that happen? I suppressed it by accident. Anyway, oh boy. All the fucking scripts. Okay, we don't need you right now. You can just not for a second. Okay, cool. All good. Hold false exit, hold true exit, jump, That should all be fine. I can't... Enable is there, disable is there, dealloc. Are we not deallocating something?
Maybe there is something colliding.
May be. Check the offset number. Yeah, no, I think that's... the offset number is just the, There isn't an offset number, because it's not what this... Hang on. You know what? This is fucking stupid. I know the answer to this. It's the same answer it always is. Offset too big. Offset too big. What the fuck does this mean? Move RAX, no register can do in memory. What? I don't get it. This is code that was working before. Why is it just throwing a problem now? Am I doing something stupid? Fuck. CPU itself cannot encode this. What the fuck? Failure of offset too big. God, useless. Okay. Pointer and offset. Nope, that's already irrelevant. Okay, let's try Googling it instead. Offset too big, cheap engine. Simple AOB script won't execute. Offset too big. What's going on? Move RBX. But CMP move ID. Because you allocate only 4 bytes for a 64-bit value. I feel like that's not what the problem here is. No, that's a global alloc 4 bytes. RBX is 64 bits. No, what am I missing here? The solution is at the bottom. That's not the actual solution. Move pointer, move RAX. But move ID is its own thing. Unless I'm horribly mistaken. Pointer 1 is allocated too far away. I'm not allocating anything, am I? I mean, I'm allocating space for the memory. Hang on. Let's do that, and then check. Can I turn this on? Yes. Okay. Cool. So good. Good. That means
that's the answer.
I mean, that's not a useful answer, but it tells us something very important, which is that it's not, in fact, the entire concept of this that's wrong. It's Cheat Engine having a bit of a fucking moment, which is fine. That's better than this idea does not work at all. So much better than that. Okay. Hold intercept script. What the fuck are we doing differently here? CMP move ID. Do JE hold false exit. CMP move ID. JE hold false exit. Okay. Let's try this. I assume we'll get an error online.
Are you using 64-bit version of Cheat Engine by any chance? Because Cheat Engine 7.0 has two versions, 32-bit and 64.
It should be... fuck. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have Cheat Engine... It should open the 64-bit by default, surely. Surely.
I'm gonna check.
I'm going to save. I am going to... Time to see if I can turn this thing off without crashing the game. I expect no, but we'll see. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop. Hell no. Oh, wait, no, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. No, that's fair. That's about what I was expecting. Okay, all you go away. What value does that say? 64-bit. Yeah. Okay, let's start up DMC5 again. So we can try loading. Maybe it'll make a difference. I doubt it. There's something weird going on. It's fine. Okay. 5. Hurry the fuck up. You have to wait for the screen to change from like pitch black to like slightly less pitch black. Otherwise, it's a completely different program. So I don't know what Capcom's doing there. But I guess they're doing something. Okay, StriVe rebuild, please. Yep, that's all fine. That's all fine. Full view. I need to go to the bathroom again. Okay, well, if this doesn't work, then I have a cheap-ass fuck workaround, and... Because we're not looking at commands right now, we're going to do the thing that I normally do, which is that. So how are you doing? Alright? Yeah, alright. Cool. Alright. What the fuck are we doing? There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is where I do most of the actual testing. As also, like, independently of being quicker to get to, it's just actually nicer to look at than the Void. Okay. No, so here's the idea. Here's the idea. StriVe on. Activate table on. I don't think I need anything else immediately. Fucking what? Oh, I didn't save it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, moment of truth. This is not gonna work. Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna do this real quickly. Welcome to the world of assembly where nothing fucking makes sense ever. Okay, so we're gonna push our VX here, and we're gonna make sure to fucking... Oh, Christ. Great, well... Don't forget to pop your shit when you're done. So, in order to use,
I see yellow lines. Should I be worried? Or are those changes?
Those are changes. No,
Alright,
this
cool.
fucking, you think fucking cheat engine is smart enough to tell when you've messed up your code?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh.
You know, just in case, whenever you have time, check if you're working with the 64-bit version. Something just doesn't add
I
up.
manually booted the 64-bit version right now, so we're definitely it's definitely 64-bit. So
then I didn't see. All right,
yep.
cool.
No, it's all good. All right, so push, pop, pop. Yep, that sounds all fine. So the idea now is we're going to do this, and this has a depressingly likely chance of solving the problem. So we do that, and then we compare move ID to that. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to move that value into RBX. So the yellow things are things called registers. Basically, think of them like, if you've ever played Overcooked, or like done anything in complicated, or you have a desk, or if you're just a fundamentally messy person, you'll notice that you've only got a certain amount of space for like 16 things, or possibly even less. Fucking... to store. And basically that's how this works. You have like 16 places in memory that you can rapidly access and change values in. And if you want to keep a value that's already there while also using that thing, you need to push it. And what that does is it moves it onto something called stack, which we're not talking about. And at the end, you need to pop it back. If you push it and then you don't pop it, the game crashes violently. Like 100% guaranteed every time you will crash. Okay. So we are now going to move this shit like that, and we're gonna do that. Yep, that all seems fine. Can't see anything going immediately wrong. Let's see. Nope, still broken. Cool. So, not that, so let's try it the other way around. Need to be careful not to delete my values here, otherwise I'll have to go find them again, and that'll be a pain in the ass. I don't even necessarily need these, but it's the principle of the thing, I suppose. Okay, move RBX, move ID into RBX, please. Or, no, I had that right the first time. Move ID into RBX, and then this. Oh, I guess we only need to do it once now, so that's nice. Cool. That seems correct. Move RBX, move ID, and then compare them. Let's see if that... What do you mean it can't be checked? What the fuck is going on here? Compare 1040 RBX. Why can it not be compiled? Oh, because I'm fucking stupid.
Do you have the right code?
Oh, I have the right code. I'm just a fucking idiot. I forgot how assembly worked for a second. Here we go.
Ah, the order. Right.
Nope, still nothing. 9, offset too big. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, so it's to do with move ID. For some reason, it's not liking... Why is the offset too big? No, it's not register size. So what the fuck is it? Where the fuck? Offset 2-bit. Okay, I think I get it. I think I get it, maybe. That's unfortunate. Ah! Wait a second. Can we not just... Yep. Okay. So this is going to be... Because we're guaranteed to come back. Welcome to... And I actually have a spare register. Oh. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. Yep. Great. Perfect. So, for whatever reason, we can get the value here, but we can't get it there. So... Is this fine? Yeah, fuck it. It's good enough. Move ID, move ID. And we're going to move it into R10. And if I'm not fucking mistaken, just get rid of that pop RBX shit. It's not gonna have an issue compiling this. And yep. And move to R10, move ID, and then we'd call the thing. So then the idea is call. Please fucking work. Not you. Where the fuck are they? Vergil hold override script. Will this work? This is the important question. Because I think it will work. But I don't know. Please work. It would be real swell if you fucking worked. God damn it. Alright. Let's see if we can do this.
You made a call. Don't you need anything else for that?
You need to call Vergil hold. What I'm doing is I'm making... Oh, wait. Hang on. Let me try the obvious. So that turns on now. Yeah, okay, no. So how the fuck do I make call to script in cheat engine? This isn't too bad if I can't do it. I can always... No, that's useless. Come on. How do I call... Register symbol the address. Can I just... Oh, hang on. I wonder if this works. I bet it fucking does. I've never tried it, but I bet you it fucking does. Okay, so Vergil hold override. Alloc. We're going to change that to alloc because it's the place where we allocate the memory. And we're going to go label Vergil hold override script. And then we're going to register symbol. Remember, this is the thing that lets you use those strings in different scripts. We also need now, it's very important that we unregister that symbol, or problems will happen down the line. Unregister symbol. Register symbol, unregister symbol. Label, alloc, dealloc. That all seems good.
And right now it's gonna pick up in the other place, right?
Hang on. Stupid bastard. I fucked that up. Yeah, fuck. I need to restart the game. This is very important. You cannot don't do live fucking changes while your code is active. Otherwise you fuck up the game. So let's reset that. Let's save what progress we've made, because it just seems like a good idea. Okay, hold register, that's all fucking fine. Hold intercept script, no one cares. So here, we want to move ID, move R10, move ID, and then call it.
Devil may cry.
This should work, in theory. In practice, I have...
Theory.
Fuck, I don't. Shit, man.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, I'll live. Probably. Alright.
You will.
Let's do that. Disable the bullshit. We want StriVe on. We want activate table on. It'd be nice if the game didn't crash right now. Oh, seems fine. Yeah, this doesn't rely on me turning anything on. It's not dependent, so I can just check it now. Why can not all instructions be injected? What's going on here? Oh, I'm a big derp. I'm still a big derp? That's weird. That shouldn't happen. God. No, sometimes I'm just not smart. There we go. Cool. That works. Okay, is there anything I am... Well, StriVe internal values on, obviously. In gameplay, on. Is there anything I have missed? Why didn't you save? Weird. Well, that's fine. We can fix that. MOV. R10, I think, is what we're using. Move.
Yeah, R10.
Move ID. Okay, call. This should, in theory, work. Vergil hold override script. This is now a registered symbol, which means it should be usable. Other parts of scripts, which, no, don't, fucking Christ. That is what we want. And then, hang on. And then we want jump exit 24. Just on that queue. Okay. That should all work. Assuming I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, didn't see any issues with the code. It let me turn it on. Moment of truth. Granted address. Held action is on. It fucking works. Yes! Hell yeah! Okay, great. I'm the fucking best. Okay, cool. Cool and good. So what this fucking means is that in here, I can do a comparison to the character ID. As long as I do this correctly. Then what this means is I can have a very simple baseline code here. Right? It's basically just the clock, and then the jump in, and then the jump out. And I should make sure everything else works before I start fully celebrating. Vergil, you good? Yeah, he seems alright. Okay, cool. So what this means is that in hold script, I can do a very simple comparison, right? And then it goes, okay, if it's Dante, then jump to a place and then call Dante's script. And if it's Vergil, jump to Vergil's place and then do his script. What this means is I can separate the actual internal workings of StriVe, the stuff that I'm doing, from the stuff that needs to be done by the game. This is gonna make coding shit a lot fucking easier. Okay, thank fucking God. Yay, this works. Alright, more water. I can feel my voice going.
Hi, Vane.
Holy shit, who the fuck was that? Shit. Already turned the mic off.
Alright.
Wait, so right now what you did is you pretty much made a script that detects what character you're using?
Okay, no, I actually haven't done that yet. This is even more basic than that, which is a sign of how slow and tedious this process is. So all this means is it something I didn't know I could do for certain in Cheat Engine? Wow, holy shit, my voice is going to be gone in like 10 minutes. Whoopsies. No. Okay, so what this means is I can go from one script to another script. And what this means for people is that they can individually turn character modifiers on in StriVe. So what I'll eventually have for the public release is you'll have like the main script for StriVe, turn that on, and you'll have 3 options, which are Dante, Vergil, and Nero. And you can check each one of those, and then in there will be individual options for each character that you can then further check. But basically what it means is my coding experience will be a lot cleaner. Also, more importantly, it means that people can theoretically use this setup to create their own scripts that work off this principle. Not that I think anyone's going to do that except me and Cian, but if someone is actually either interested in Discord or watching this on YouTube for some reason, and you want to go, hey, DMC modding seems cool, this will hopefully make life a little easier, and you won't have to go through all of the bullshit I did. Which was like fucking... StriVe was like 2 weeks of coding as opposed to like in comparison to 2.5 months of research. So I'm hoping to make the process just like easier for people in general. Okay, but no, this works. Holy shit, this actually works. Okay, cool. So now this means... Alright. Well, now that we've had a bunch of fucking fun, it's time to do some real boring shit.
Just a suggestion before you start, if you plan, you can try like, I don't know, making an account on YouTube or Twitch. You can save your you can save an archive your streams there.
This is going up to my YouTube later.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you want to see my YouTube? Do you want to see the peak of my fucking comedy? 1 second.
I mean, you left a comment on my latest stream, so I can find your channel, no problem.
Yeah, no, here's the previous work I've done. Ah, fucking... Oh, do I want to sign in? Is it gonna bust me? It'll probably fucking... 1 second.
Just show it. I mean, if you can find it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's just plug this into Google and see what comes up. What would it be? Troy. Yeah. Whatever. I can actually just find it from the guy's fucking compilation video. Where the fuck is your... hang on. This is gonna make sense in a second, I promise.
I'm already confused.
Don't worry, you'll get more confused. Here we go. Behold my finest fucking work. This is what's typically on my YouTube channel.
Wait, that's yours?
I am a fucking artist. Anyway, yeah. So this is a
well, that did make me intrigued.
So yeah, I used to do fucking Adobe Premiere shitposts. Now I'm doing this, I guess. Anyway.
We all have our faces.
Alright. So now it's time for the boring shit. You see how this says return here 24? We're basically going to go hold intercept return here, and we're going to do this for every fucking thing and every fucking script that I have, because it needs to be done so I'm not ever fucking confused about what I should be doing, or where I am, or what the code I'm doing is. Fuck. Okay. So we go return here. Where the fuck do we do return here jumps? Nope, that needs to be hold intercept return here. I think that should be good. Isn't forgetting anything? Which it could be. No, that seems fine. Okay. I'm gonna stop fucking talking now for a bit because there's literally nothing to say. It's just renaming variables. Ugh.
So again, how long did it take you to figure out all of this?
Well, okay, let's see.
More or less. It doesn't have to be
I'm
like
curious.
Exact number.
No, I'm actually curious. So let's see. So the timeline is... First thing I did was weapon hot swapping with the D-pad, and that is back in November 12th.
So about 1.5 months.
Sounds about right. That was... well, no, because, what is it? It's fucking 2.5 months. Right? December, January...
Oh, that's December? Or November?
That's November.
November. So that's 2, yeah.
Yeah, that was me fucking about with, like, weapon swapping and stuff. Forcing, what the fuck was I doing? Forcing different directions and stuff, and I was just trying to fuck around with loadouts. And then I found this. And then things kind of just escalated from there. But that is the first video of DarkSlayer, aka I accidentally glitched summon swords onto the Balrog, and I had no idea why. Like, I legitimately had no idea why. It stopped working, and I still didn't know why. So I spent, like, the next day desperately attempting to figure out what the fuck I'd done. Alright. Story time. What the fuck am I doing? Hold it. Ooh, yike. That would have caused a crash. JMP. That's correct. Okay, that looks like that's hold intercept. I mean, might as well do this at this point. Alright. Right held action, return here. I'm just gonna do the full long names because I'm ever writing them out anyway. Okay. Okay, anything to be changed down there? No. Okay, that's one script done. We're not doing anything with hold intercept original script, so cool. This is good for me to add my StriVe stuff in, or the normal stuff. Ugh. Okay, seems fine. Yeah. Game's gonna crash again, but that's fine. Who cares? Okay. Similar concept here. Press intercept, return here. I also want to do... Sion has a thing he does, because he's smarter than me, where he goes and does the following. I don't think I use this terminology elsewhere, for the most part, so I'm going to use it here. Define, press, intercept, code. We're going to call it code address. That's how we're going to do this. Code address. So if you remember, define basically means we can give a particular address a string, but it does more than that. What it also means is that in the disassembler, as opposed to having to remember the opcode, if I jump to, I forget what fucking thing he does. It's gonna be one of these. Activate table. Where is activate table in the script thing? Here. So if we go the following, you can't do these with my scripts right now, but Sion was clever about it. So he has it set up so you can actually jump to his scripts just by going to address and then typing in the name, whereas I'd have to copy this value and go to that. That just basically means it's easier to fucking find and easier to know what the fuck it is. So I'm gonna do that as well. So net return here, press intercept original code. Yeah, okay. This is, by the way, the part where you should all leave, because there's gonna be nothing interesting for like a solid half an hour or longer. That seems fine. That seems... Every time. Get every fucking time. Okay, come on, focus. Okay, I think that's done. Cool. So I think I should do it like that, but I don't actually know. How do you define shit? It's in the enable, so I assume it has to be fine. Yeah, who gives a shit? Oh god, that was a horrible mistake. Let's not do that. Ever. I guess it makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So once again, here's the big damn idea. Do we need... we do actually need... Okay, should we give move ID somewhere official to go? I guess we do the move... but we need to do it before, otherwise the thing will break. Yeah, we can do it. That's fine. That's not that big a deal. Okay. So here, we want to go move, and the only thing we use, this is a demo, move R10, move ID. That should solve that problem. Okay. Fun fact, 90% of coding good is basically just fucking making sure you, what are the words I'm looking for? Come up with a consistent naming thing for your, variables. If you do that, you will have a good time. If you do not do that, you're probably gonna have a bad time. It's just how it be.
It'd be like that, though.
It really do. That seems right. Yeah? Yeah. So, press on subscript. This can do whatever the fuck it wants. We need to grab the labels. Because there are... These should just be the ones. God, I planned this out ahead of time, kind of. Cool. Now we can use these in here and not worry. We don't have any variables defined down here that we need to worry about, right? Well, there's those, but that's fine. Okay. Then, because I've forgotten, how are we doing this here? That's fine. That works just fine. We're gonna grab these two. Yeah, we're gonna call them press instead of hold. Press true, press false. Press false. Right. Now, this is going to be the same as... Ooh, I'll press false exit. Right, so okay, what do we need? So we need a couple things. It's right there. What do you mean? Oh. Do you ever just forget important shit? but not immediately. Huh. Hang on. 38%. Okay, hang on. Interesting. It's only for a comparison. Wonder why that is. Well, only thing we need to pass here. I should be more thorough about what I should just push a whole bunch of shit and then pop a whole bunch of shit and do it consistently. But we'll worry about that in a second. So we just need is grounded. Cool. That's just a thing. What do I want right here? Where's the other one? This one. No. This one? Oh Christ, they're called press intercept and Vergil press intercept. Of course they are. I'm gonna have to rename something here. Christ, they're not actually called the same thing, are they? Press intercept code address. It's closer than I fucking like. No, they're called press intercept. And then... yeah, okay, that's fine. We just need to rename that to press intercept. It's not too big a deal. What do we give a fuck about? Right, we need it for move ID? I guess we do need it for move ID. Right, because we do a comparison there. No, we just... oh, we've just been doing that the entire time, of course. But why? But... did I just add that a second ago and forget? Someone that's been paying attention, did I literally just add this line of code like a minute ago and just completely forget that I did? That sounds like a me thing. That sounds like something I do, but I can't remember. This is fucking recording, right? Yeah, okay. Jeez. One nightmare at a time. Alright, so that's good. It's already moving up. We're gonna change this so we push everything. There's really no reason we shouldn't be. I'm gonna clear 15 pop. So we don't use anything in 14 or 13. And it's not like this, right? Because like I popped 15 11 and 10 when I started doing StriVe, so I just kept doing it like that, when really there's no reason, and I should just clean up crappy code as opposed to following. Cheat Engine is a goddamn miracle for doing what it does. Casual injection of assembly code into any fucking program you want. Custom goddamn assistant thing for fucking working with assembly. Like, you don't even know. The amount of shit Cheat Engine has is insane. It's like, I'm beyond impressed in its existence. Darkbite is a god. Darkbite's the person that made a Cheat Engine. Yep. Alright, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, okay, so push to R10, that's fine. So R10 can get move ID, and then what else is needed? Force release is fine, oddly enough. This leads to a number of interesting questions. Let's do the following. R11 can get is grounded. Because we do need is grounded for shit. Okay. So now, we just need to remember, move ID is R10. correct. You know what? Let's do the following smart idea. There we go. Okay, R11 is great. Okay. That seems good. Don't see any major issues there. Cheat engine doesn't. Offset too big, 41. Hello? Oh, I swapped it there. Forgot I did it in 2 places. That seems fine. Yeah, there we go. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, which means on this end, assuming we've set this all fucking up correctly, we want to basically just delete 90% of this shit. We already have deleted 90% of this shit. So all the way to here. Right? Now we go call that. Do I have do I have the intercept script on right now? I do, and that's bad. I shouldn't do that. These are still working. But we're gonna turn all of these off for obvious safety reasons. Force no press exit and force press exit are redundant now. We just want to press intercept exit, the one and only. See you, Greg. Have a good night. Oh, he's not in chat. Where's it? Oh, it's Natsu. That's at 2:30. Okay. So that works. That works, right? Yeah. Let's see. There's no reason the above should not work. Hey, it didn't work. Nice. Let's try turning it on and then doing it. Ooh, that's going to result in problems. Ah, wait a minute. Do we have a problem? Oh, fuck it, whatever. It's fine. The main thing of moving it into different fucking scripts seems to work. We'll just have a separate set of things where you can go, hey, Vergil on, Vergil off. It's fine. I can just, it's probably just a comparison at the beginning that just says, hey, jump to the original code. Not even. We know what we need to fucking do. We need to, if it's the override, then we force no press. If it's, come on, brain, get it together. If it's the override, then we force a no press. If it's the intercept, then we force a press, and then that'll solve it. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. That's fine. I'll live. But yeah, that's 3 lines of code. That's a little bit better. I mean, granted, it's not actually 3 lines of code. I've just moved everything over here. But everything being over here just feels better. You know? Like when you try to organize your desk or something and you're just like getting real into it and you're like fucking cleaning out all the corners. It's like, is this gonna make me a better person? No. But I'll feel better. That's the trick. Okay. Important question time. How functional is this code? Okay, we have a problem. Cool. Getting started early on that shit. And gameplay is on too. Alright, what's the problem? Can I just... How does this work? Nice. Sick. Okay, cool. Cool, it works. That's why. Cool. That's fine, we can fix that. So this is not going to be in the press intercept script, rather this is an issue with the... It's not the Vergil specific one, it's this one. Right. We need to make very certain that when we go in here, we do that. Otherwise we have problems. That makes sense. That does make sense. Uh-oh. Problems. Why can't we turn our boy off? Not all instructions can be injected. Did we lose something important? I don't think so. I'll do that for the sake of mine. Hang on. I think I know what the problem is. No? I'm gonna take a 50. What? Oh. Well, it's not inject. Oh, right. Yeah, obviously that's not injectable. That's not the point. Yeah, okay. Cool. But why can it not be... Why can it not be turned off? Who gives a shit? Let's save. Crash the game. Off we go again. Bathroom break. Jumping back. Because you'd have to jump to... you'd have to register the exit. I mean, I could, but it doesn't seem... I'm not convinced it's worth it.
Devil May Cry
All seems fine for what we need. Okay. On. Wait, let's go. Let's see. It'd be nice. Okay, but what? What is causing this problem? Dialog press intercept code address. Does it mean when you can turn it on, but you can't turn it back off? Okay, comparison, side by side. Okay, what's going on? Oh. Interesting. We didn't do that for hold intercept. Interesting. Well, you can turn auto. You can turn fucking activate table off. So it must be something I'm doing wrong. Define that. Alec that. Unregister symbol. Current weapon. Alec. What? Why? We didn't register it as a symbol though, didn't we? Is that the problem? Do we need to? Vergil registers that as a symbol, and that can be turned on and off without an issue, so I don't think that's the problem. Come on. Current gun Alec, and then all that shit. Press intercept original code, press intercept exit. Hold. Press intercept return here, jump press intercept. You know, that's all fine. Unregister symbol. Dialog hold intercept. We're still doing unregistering all the symbols, right? Yeah, we dialog press intercept. Then oh? Interesting. Hang on. And then it unregisters it. Okay, hang on. Let's try that. But wait, no, hang on. Press intercept code address. Then it. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. Press intercept that, and then dealloc. Maybe we should be doing this the other way around. Press intercept like that, and then like that. Don't do that. No. We want the press intercept script. Let's do the same thing, otherwise it won't fucking work. Maybe this will do it? I hope so. Not all instructions could be injected. What does that mean? Why is it like that? This was an issue before, so I'm not particularly thrilled about it. Current alloc. Yeah, we dealloc some shit, but like, we unregister and then we dealloc. But it's not registered as a symbol. Why? I don't need a fucking... Okay, let's try a thing. This seems like a terrible idea. Okay. Still nothing. Oh, fuck. Unpause. Okay, what the fuck? Why? It's always fucking something. Hang on. Am I being stupid? Am I being more stupid than usual? Because that's always a possibility.
Devil may cry.
There's no way. Fuck, this works. Maybe this is a simpler problem than I'm making up. The current issue right now is that the code doesn't fucking turn itself off when it should. It doesn't let you, for whatever reason. That's not good. We need to fix that. I'm guessing it's something to do with the way it unregisters and runs the disable script. But the particular details of how and why are like, fucking no. I mean, I have guesses, but like, shut the fuck up. Not all instructions can be injected. Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hit save and I'm gonna pray that this is the obvious thing of shit's not working because my thought is that shit is not working just quite simply because Cheat Engine can run into problems sometimes when it multiple crashes, things aren't registered and deregistered properly, and I'm just basically hoping that a reload of the thing will fix the problem as in the past, so hold on. Here we go. Okay, it's Devil May Cry 5, so it's the correct DMC.
Devil May Cry.
Come on, Vergil. Be a pal. I haven't been turning Activate Table on. Whoops. Wait, no, I think Activate Table's been on the entire time. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know, I'm hoping this is a little more better. Come on. Yeah, the program. I need it now. Saving. Come on, hurry it up. There we go. On. Fuck, okay. Not all instructions can be injected. Why? Enable and disable are still what they were. Is it the define before the Alec? No, define before the Alec is normal. What am I missing here? Oh. Unless it's not normal? Am I being stupid? It's a distinct possibility. Maybe I'm just trying to do something that's not possible. And there goes another one. Alright, okay, so you work, but you don't. But you fundamentally work off the same idea, right? Define Alec, and then your labels. Human 1, code 1. Yeah, okay, so we don't have to do a label there. Jump that, return 1, register symbol. Why are you registering symbol? Is there a reason? Current weapon Alec is defined. Why do you need to register it? Is it just for convenience? If you define it, it should already be usable. Let's try that. At the very end of... Yeah, so register symbol, press intercept code address is what we're going with. Did I paste that right? No, hang on, it should be down there. Press intercept code address. Yeah. Okay, and then let's try unregistering the symbol. Like so? How do we do this? Okay, so unregister would come like that. We'd have to theoretically be doing all the same shit here. Unregister symbol, press 1 held, code address. We need to register it at the bottom here. Unregistered Alec. That all seems good. Still loads fine. All instructions can be injected. Hopefully that's just a state of mind. No. This needs to save as StriVe rebuild. Come on. There we go. What is the issue here? This works for Sion's table, so it should work here. There's no reason it shouldn't. There's nothing explicit that says it shouldn't. Press intercept Alec, press intercept script, press intercept Alec. That all seems fine. It's not an issue with... Hey. Disable the auto-assembly stuff.
Devil May Cry.
The fuck are we doing? StriVe? Internal values. Come on, be a pal. Be functional. Be less of a dick. Maybe we don't need to bother with the fucking defiance and shit, but like, it would be useful. I'm not fucking glad I didn't do it both locations at the same fucking time. Hang on, what? Dialog is there. Where is it in activate table? Of course, there's just the possibility that Sion's just wrong about the order you're supposed to do shit in. It's possible. Remember to turn activate table on. Hey! Okay, it's fixed. I don't know what changed, but something changed. What did we do? Move DLX to the bottom. Let's try and experiment then. Press intercept is off. So let's try this, because I feel way fucking better about that as opposed to... You know? Does the game crash?
You're finished.
Who knows? We need to turn it and play on.
Slay all.
Alright, 2 down. Only 4 to go. Cool, so we don't need the double there. It's just fine staying as it is. Assuming that we can actually turn stuff off without breaking the game, which is a bit of an ask.
Cut you down.
Oh, seems to work. So I guess the issue is deactivating StriVe seems to break everything. Oh, look at that. Maybe he's doing too many deactivation of too many things at the same time. Unclear. Anyway, these can stay on the entire time too. That's pretty nice. Because they're not actually dependent on anything, and they're effectively harmless. Normally, like, when you're injecting code, there's like a degree of danger to it, because, you know, I don't know if it gets called in a bad way, but this shit, it's like, it's not gonna get jumped to unless it was intended to be jumped to. So you can have it on and not give a fuck. That's good. Wow, release intercept's actually pretty simple too. Holy shit, okay, cool. Oh, right. Are we gonna go with... I've been unclear whether or not to go for the acronym stuff or, like, just the full word. I think the full word is for the best. Because what am I trying to say here? If I'm in danger of the acronyms being the same, then... If I'm in danger of the words being the same, then I'm definitely in danger of the acronyms being the same. So. Okay, release one held here, and we're gonna, yeah, we're just gonna... Perfect. Let's try doing the same... you don't have that issue, so... Release, intercept... Is that what we want to call these? Let's try to get the naming consistent. Yeah, that's fine. Release intercept. And what we need to do, actually, for release intercept is, unlike the other two, there isn't a fucking, I haven't set up my counter that keeps track of what values are being released. And that's a problem. What time is it? $4:56 p.m. That's fine. Well, almost. I should probably make bread in a second, but, like, I can wait. Can it wait? Hey, where's the original? Fucking god. No, that's fine. Original code 2. Where the fuck happened to original code 2? Release intercept return here. Release intercept exit. Release intercept script. I should rename these further, probably, just to make things very clear. So this is less about action, it's action and override. Okay, so release action. Sure. We're gonna do it the way Sion does. Keep things consistent. Release Alec like that, and then yeah, we're gonna just have to be. It's gonna be a whole bunch of fucking constant renaming. So I attempt to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my life. All right, that seems good. I like that. I'm a fan of how that works. So release action. Is that how we're doing this? Sion, what did you do again? Jesus, you just left it as new mem1? What the fuck, man? Ah! We can call it release action script. So we're gonna go script and Alec as the names. So that's release action script. Then release intercept script is fine. Right, because yeah, okay, we're gonna need to rename some more shit. Release action instead of release intercept. Release action. Release action. Release intercept script, release override. You can just call that release intercept. Release intercept and release override. That seems fine. Label, release, action, original code. That seems fine. Is that good? Release action, original code, yeah. Replacement for original code 2. There's a couple places. I'm gonna need to do release. Okay, release override has a thing, and release intercept has a thing. So we're gonna need to write scripts for both, even if they're incredibly fucking simple, because we need to keep this consistent. Oh. That's the noise of me needing to go bake bread. So I guess I will be right back. Actually, I think this is a good place to wrap things up. I don't think things are going to get much more exciting from here. So, thank you all for turning up. Flair, Thane, Scarlet, even though he can't hear me. No idea why the fuck he's in here, but it's all good. Alright, we're gonna hit the stop recording, and next time, what the fuck are we doing next time? Well, hopefully I'll have the rest of the script sorted out into the proper, correct spacing. I've done all the boring grind work, and then next time is going to be bug fixes, in which I explain how the model system for Dante works, why it's like the glitchiest fucking thing in the game, and how I'm desperately attempting to make it less glitchy and actually function. So next time is bug fixing, and that'll be a thing, I guess. And yeah.